All started April 5th, 1997. My mom was pregnant with me, and my brother and sister actually were with my dad at home, and my mom was in jail and pregnant with me, and they rushed her to the hospital to have me, and when she did, she actually left me in the hospital, and she left, and she did something reckless. I'm not sure what it is, but she got arrested again. And my dad locked my sister and brother in the bathroom while he went to smoke crack, and someone called child services, and I was put into foster care for the first 2 years of my life. And when I was returned back to my mom, my dad was in prison, and it was good for a couple months of my life, and then my mom started this, I don't know if she was angry or something, but she just started abusing all of us, and I was only 2 or 3 at the time, and she just abuses all the time. When I was 5, she picked me up by my ankles and threw me at the wall. I actually left a hole in the wall, and she was the first person to ever knock me out. I was on the floor, and to wake me up, she pulled me up by my hair. And the hardest part was seeing my brother and sister get abused. My brother, she would actually take a shovel and hit him with it, and to wake him up, she would beat us with a bat, and she had this angry thing about her, and I don't know what it was, but she just always said things to us like, oh, I wish I never got you back out of foster care, and I always tried to get help and no one would help me, and I'd go to school and tell teachers, and then when I'd get out of school, they would come to my house, and then my mom would find out that I was the one who told, and then she would beat me more, and she would bang my head against things, throw ashtrays at me. There was this belt she had that was like this wide of leather and chains all around it, and the belt buckle was metal. It was huge, and she would beat us with it until we had scars and bruises on us. And this happened for years. I was returned to her when I was 2, and they took me when I was 9, but they only took me because my brother was already taken because he was Baker acted because he's bipolar. And the dog had pooped on the floor, and my mom had told me to clean it up. And I was only 9, and I forgot, and I didn't clean it up. And she pulls me in the room by my hair, and she took my face and she shoved it in the dog poop. And I told my sister we had to tell at that time. We really had to get out of the situation. She was beating us more than ever, and that first year in foster care was in 2007. I was in 13 homes, and I felt like I was just going from home to home to home to home. And it was terrible, and I just didn't know what to do, and the stress, and I had nobody to talk to, and waking up at night and having nightmares of my mom beating me or my mom coming after me. But I still loved my mom, so I was like, is this the right thing? What should I do? And I had no one to talk to, so it was just terrible. And then came the second year, and I was in a couple homes, but then I got put into Jamie and Ivan's home, and at first it was very, like we didn't get along because, like, I was pretty mean. I mean, I was in my 13th home, and I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I had a therapist come in from Kids in Distress. Her name was Cammie, and she came in and she sat down, and she saw there was a lot of anger and hatred, but we wanted to make it work, and there was some reason to make it work, and it was God. God wanted our family together, but we didn't know that. We didn't know where we were going. And we were sitting, and Cammie would talk to us every week, and we'd go through problems together. in the middle of this, I still had my mom thinking about her and nightmares, and a couple months before the adoption, we had a court hearing of termination of parental rights where they take away your mom's rights. She was no longer my mom anymore. I had to sit in front of a camera with a judge and tell my mom basically, I don't want you to be my mom anymore, which is one of the worst things you ever have to do. And it was pretty scary, and I was crying, and I was very sad, but I knew it was the right thing. It was October 2010. On the 1st, I was adopted by Jamie and Ivan. And that day I remember sitting there, I was like, am I doing the right thing or am I not? And so I got adopted, and the first month was pretty hard for me. I was like, should I talk, should I not talk? So I hid away in my room, and I was not talking to anybody. I was like, this is really weird for me. I have a new home, and it's really weird. And Cammie would come every week still. She's still coming, and we would talk, and we'd sit there and we'd go through things, and we'd go through our hard times, and she'd sit there and talk, and we'd work it out, and my parents would sit there, and sometimes we'd laugh, sometimes we'd cry, sometimes we'd argue. It was harsh Mondays. Monday nights were harsh. But Cammie would talk to us, and it's been a couple months now that I've been adopted, and we're still working through some things, but it's going well. It's working well. And my brother's gonna get out of jail soon, so we're gonna work on the whole family thing and the new family, and it's really weird, and I want to work on it, but I don't talk to my mom anymore, and my sister, I'm working with her and talking to her to be a family. So it's just difficult knowing what my mom did to me is going to affect my life a lot, but I'm willing to work on it, and that's what Cammie's here for. We talk and we work through hard things. So life's good now.